Like, oh, unless we are, huh?
That's it.
Yeah, we live, like we live. Man, y'all, welcome to another edition of the Elite Mancast. Wednesdays at 8:30. Tune in, like, share the videos, all of that good stuff, man. Tell a friend and tell a friend as well. So, man, tonight we have a great topic. It's about the universe and it's about people. I'm gonna just say that. I'm gonna say it's nature first versus nurturing. So, man, in this nature world that we live in, we genetically influenced by individuals, as our individual self on things that we should just innate. It's innate. It's in us, to do it. That's your nature. But then when you nurtured, you influenced by the impact of other people, and it's just like sometimes you can be nurtured the wrong way. Let me say that. Because you can nurture a man so far into where he just want to be a girl. So we got to really pay attention out here, men, to how our mothers and how the aunties and sisters are allowing the men to show too much femininity. It's cool to be having your in tune with your feminine side, but don't go past what that's too much. Sometimes and then you say you want a strong black man, but you raising a little boy who's confused. So we're gonna always nurture the masculine side in a man that, if you're a female and males, please bring out the best man that you can bring out as you teach these youth, teach the young black men how to be men, and putting your part out there, man. But it was a great topic. I love it because it's going to bring about so many broader things because we can go so many ways with this topic, and it's a good thing that we do have these type of topics, man. Open ended, just like an open ended conversation, So it's a beautiful thing, man. We got the panel. Everybody should be on. I don't know where Alejandro went, but he's a rich slave tonight. But we got Coach KD and Mr. Michael. But y'all know, man, this the panel. We got Rich Slave too, but he got to come back on in a minute, I suppose. But Michael, what you got for us tonight on this topic?
Well, fellas, good evening, everybody. This is a great topic. And what I'll say is it boils down to the age-old question. What came first, the chicken or the egg? Well, basically,
Right.
that's what we're talking about. This is a topic on psychology, how our behavior is influenced. So, which is more influential in our behavior and our characteristics? Is it nature? Is it the genetics, the genes that we're born with? Or is it the environment that we come from? I think it's going to be
Mm,
good finding out which as we go along. What you got,
yeah.
Coach?
What's up? What's up? What's up? It's truly wonderful to be in the land of the living, baby. I'm glad I'm here. I'm glad I'm here. Another Wednesday night at 8:30. We are here. Everybody's here. We on time and we rolling. I love it, man. I love it, man. A great topic, great topic. But as I did my research, man, I'm feeling like I'm on the both sides. It can happen both ways, nature or nurture. It depends on what it is, what part of it is. Because I got two parents that only went to high school. They only finished to high school, but I went a little further. Me and my two siblings, my sisters, all of us got masters, but not to even go there. It's just like what it is. Some things I pulled from my parents, and some things they didn't. So I'll be interested to see how y'all family dynamic went. And like you say, Keith, it could go so many ways tonight, but a great broad topic. Let's get it, fellas. What
Yeah.
up, Rich Slade?
Mm-hmm.
I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. As I always say, it's great to be in the land of the living. See, that's
Since
nature right
when?
there. That's the nature side of me, but the nurturing side, I want to say, well, it all depends on how you look at it. Like, is it really great to be in the land of the living if you're not living for anything?
Woo!
When it
Say
comes
that.
to
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
come out
nature,
swinging, huh?
yeah, when it comes to nature versus nurture, I always go with the metaphor, life deals you a deck of cards, right? but it all depends on how you play those cards. Me not being born a citizen, moving out there, moving up at the top of the chain when it comes to the restaurant, and then becoming a business owner. But then when I look at some people back in Honduras, like they're not doing as well. I mean, y'all was born into that environment, but then, you know, nurturing, like that brought me to where I'm at now.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
let's roll with it.
Awesome, man. Awesome.
Oh, yeah.
That is it, bro. Like, you know, as we move forward into this, man, and we want people to chime in and give us your thoughts on it, you know, because like I said, all of us are different in our own way, and that's what makes us unique. But what you get out of your surroundings is imperative as to where you can go and how far you can go. Do you suck it up? Are you a sponge? Are you able to get what's around you? Or, you know, like that's why we always talk about this in the book. Don't be afraid to do the research. You know, we stay on that. You know, I know us four right here stay on that, and that's what we want to push out there. You know, don't just take someone's word for it. Do your research. So I do think people can be taught. People can learn. Like they said one psychologist said he believed that you started with a blank slate. You know, and whatever you keep putting in, that's how you learn. So I think his name was Locke. Yeah, those psychologists.
Galton.
Yeah. So it's interesting to know that some people think, and professional doctors who did these studies, they think differently. So is there a right or wrong? No, I don't think there's a right or wrong. It's just how you see it and how you stand in what side, nature or nurture, you know?
Yeah. Well, they said way back in the ancient Greeks.
Uh-huh.
Go ahead, Keith.
No, we're listening. You know, you always got some. You got some ancient knowledge for us, so we can listen.
Hey, that's one of them backhanded compliments trying to call me old. You're like y'all out there walking on the water with Jesus.
Hey, you always come up with stuff. And Mike, you always come up with something that happened back in the 60s or the 50s. We be like, boy, it's just like a good history lesson. I mean, let me tune in. That man said ancient Greek. I wouldn't even be studying the Greek, but you've been over there. You've experienced it. So I wasn't saying you old or nothing, because I don't feel like old is nothing, you know.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Mike. Let me get off of that.
No,
go ahead.
But what I was going to say is this question has been pondered as far back as ancient Greeks, because Plato was one of the ones that first came up with this, why do we act the way we do? And back in that time, they were all thinking it was the environment, that you're always a product of the environment that you're in. And you know how the English, they got classism. So if you were born into royalty or you were born into a high class situation, then that's what you were automatically. But they didn't give the lower man a chance to move up. But over the years, the scientists have realized that it's not just your environment that determines, because in your nature, the color of your eyes, the color of your hair, skin tone, stuff like that, that's your genetics. That's the stuff that comes from your parents or you inherited from your bloodline. But now, when it comes to your environment, the things that you learn from the time you come out of the womb, like we're always talking about the your paradigm. That's the stuff that you learn. You're hearing it while you're still in the stomach. So you're hearing all this information, and this is sinking in to your subconscious as you're growing. So your environment does play a big part in who you eventually turn out to be. But your genetics, like some people are predisposed to certain diseases. And then you have people that are in the same household, but they don't get the diseases. Yeah, and then you have stuff like diabetes or chronic heart disease that comes from your environment. Because that's eating too much sugar, eating pork and meat and all of this stuff that's killing your body. but it's also a part the environment that we're in because we eat like the people around us for the most part. So
Like
the
that,
Right.
Mediterraneans, yeah, the Mediterranean people, they have a Mediterranean diet. So they're eating a lot more fish and vegetables. We in America, we eat McDonald's, Burger King, Popeyes.
But how do
So
you feel?
our environment is killing us.
How do you feel about reversing nature then? Because some of us
Reverse,
reversing nature.
go ahead with what you were about to say
No,
with some of us.
it's possible, right?
Yeah, it is. And the thing is, I think some of us need to be reversed because some of the mentalities that people out there have,
Yeah.
it's like you got started going in the wrong direction. And in order for you to get better, you got to change your mentality or the way you think about things. And this comes from the environment. Because we got people, like, think about it. Years ago, all of us black men were walking around with suits, hard bottom shoes, shine, spit shine. We got hats and brim, looking good, had pride about ourselves. But over time, the environment has changed. So now you got kids walking around sagging jeans. You even got old people trying to keep up with the kids. They out here with sagging jeans and stuff on. It's like it makes no sense. So part of it's like you said, Alejandro, at the beginning. It's like I was told once as a kid that you're in your environment, but you're not of your environment.
Mm.
Meaning you grew up in this area, but you're not like the people around you because you think
Right.
different. And that could be genetics, but then it's kind of hard to say because your siblings could be full in doing the exact same thing that the people in your environment are. So I think somehow it's a mixture because our genetics are going to determine some things about how we see things, and then our environment, how we accept our environment and work within our environment is going to determine. Because you got a lot of us that don't eat pork. Coach, you
Yeah.
trying to get off of that bacon. I'm trying to get to a healthy diet. So hey, it's as you grow and get older, you start to learn, you read, and you start thinking different. So that's where
I'm glad
changing
you said
is
this.
part of it.
I don't mean to cut your wisdom, Mike, but I know Coach gonna be looking at me crazy. But I want to go back to what you said on learning. Now, in the beginning, we was all taught about a King James version.
Hmm.
I want to stop right there on the word version. Now, version is based on one person's perspective.
Uh-huh.
So all these years, we've been looking through the lenses of one man and his perspective on how he depicted, graphed the Bible from the Sumerian tablets and whatnot. So he took what he learned. So that's why I say when we say looking for, being nurtured the incorrect way, it starts when we signed up for the churches in the world, when we signed up for the religion. Let me say the religion. I ain't gonna say spiritual. Like Coach, we always say we spiritual, but we at one point we signed up for a religion part of this world. So
Right.
when we nurtured in this version of one man, the King James version, and then when you say you revise it, now you're revising, you altering from its original form. So this is the revised version of another man's idea of what he saw. So how do we base our life off of a lie? When you know it's a lie, do you change from the lie? Or you just say, hey, man, it is what it is at this point? No, you should want to go know the truth. So that's why when you're being nurtured, that's like people say, oh, he was raised that way. So if he was raised one way, that way, then you should say, hey, you know what? Now that I do know there was a mistake in what we were taught, or there were incorrection or incorrect statements made, let me go find out the truth.
Mm-hmm.
So if you are nurtured the wrong way, if you're impacted by your environment in the incorrect manner, I feel that you should always be willing to say, hey, you know what? I might have been raised that way, but let me go find out what's real. So that way you can be nurtured. You'll nurture your own soul in a better fashion. It's like people say, I apologize for me. I didn't apologize for you. I wanted to make me and myself feel better. Like J. Cole said, this didn't sit right with my soul. So I'm not going to get off in no battle and let Kendrick tear my head off. I'm
Right.
yeah, because Kendrick went in on Drake. He just murdered it. It's in his nature. You see that?
Yeah.
That's in his nature, his environment. He was nurtured to be natured like that.
Yeah, but
I mean, that's just like R. Kelly. R. Kelly, he was nurtured by nature.
Right. That was, yeah.
But that goes back to saying, like how I started in the show. You know, it's gonna be both. A lot of times, it's gonna be both. You know, if you really looking at it, you know, we want to choose one over the other and say nature versus nurture. But why? I'm saying both because in different times, at different times in your life, or different segments of your life, at one point you're natured, at one point you're nurtured.
Because I feel like if you're nurtured properly, your nature would be nothing but greatness. You'll always want to see the greater. You'll be an optimist, you know, instead of this pessimistic person. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You don't want things to be right. You want things to be right. There's other mindset that our environment shows, all this toxicity our environment shows, that we have to be negative in order to succeed. That's why we have the rap to where it is. That's why we're not wearing the suits anymore. You remember Master P and them, they wore suits though. They was rapping about killing and all this, but they was thinking on that mob mindset.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So it was still on our minds to be clean, cut, intelligent, and, you know, go after the things we really want. But at the same time, you get that drowned out by just the words that he said. Nobody looked at the suit he had on. Nobody seen him dress well. Nobody knew he was he was the CEO of a company. All they heard was bitch, hoe, fuck, nigga, kill, drill. You know, that's all they heard. You didn't understand who this man's intelligence was. It's like Charleston White. Charleston White was raised up in the Crip neighborhood, Fort Worth, Texas. But if you listen to him now, when he first started out, he was about saving people. He was about doing the right thing. Now Charleston White, he get on there and he'll go crazy because look how much attention that got him. When he was talking about these same topics that in the bow tie with the glasses on, they looking at him like, man, nobody want to hear about this corny dude. Nobody want to hear about that.
Yeah, he's going with.
But then, yeah, he went straight to they meet. That's what we say. That's what we mean by that in the health coaching class, life coaching class. Meet people where they are.
Yeah.
And you see half of the society has been nurtured to be on to this dumb shit.
Yeah.
Bitch, hoe. Yeah, say, no, bitch, look at her. See, when he wasn't saying that, nobody took him serious. Nobody believed in him. But then when he showed a nurturing side that was environmental, man, look at that. Wow. But he was nurtured in he had to learn in a different type of environment. I think some of the best scholars and some of the best teachers are people who've really been through some drag down, knock down type of business. You know what I'm saying? It's like, bro, I was homeless. I was sleeping in hotels. I slept in my car. Say, man, everybody left me because I couldn't provide. Didn't have no friends because I couldn't show them that I could go to the club, or, you know what I'm saying? You have them, the type of people are going to come up with a story and that's going to do great things sometimes. Let me say that, not all the time, but just like you say, like, give me an example about Oprah. Molestation, raised by grandmama, mama and them ain't right. You feel me? That's a real life story. But she said, you know what? Yeah, I was nurtured to be better than this. I might have been nurtured to be worse than this, but in my nature, if my grandmother told me to be better than what I am. So
it boils down. It boils down to choice. It comes down to choice. You know, it's still a choice that you have to make a conscious decision of what you want to be and who you want to be. You know, and that comes from personal development and seeing yourself down the road. You know, you got to. You know, however your environment is, like I grew up with my uncles being womanizers, and you know what I'm saying. I actually thought that's the way you're supposed to be. Although I had my bed at the house, I'm still hanging with my uncles though. You know, and I'm saying, okay, they got 3 or 4. You know, I thought that was the way to be. You know, until you know I start doing personal development and getting better with myself. You know, I'm like, man, I'm one woman man. I could be at home and enjoy home with my wife.
And you get more out of life with one.
Yeah.
You get more out of life if she's willing to learn and teach and grow. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna get so much more because you got one teacher, you got one student, you got one person that you really focusing on, to where when you build somebody up, people always talk about, oh, I ain't building nobody up. It's not building a person like you putting them together. It's giving them information, sharing the knowledge that they don't have.
Yeah.
And then once you stop seeing yourself as a person that can help somebody mentally, physically, that means you're going to be by yourself and you're going to keep picking and choosing the wrong men, or you're going to keep picking and choosing the wrong women. You're not going to be happy in this society because you feel, as a man, we shouldn't even ever have that. Well, I feel like that should never come out of your mouth. How do you feel? Nah, you got to give the facts. A man should always put down the facts. These are the facts of this situation. We think by logic. We don't think by emotion.
Right.
Exactly.
For those men who don't know, we don't think by, we don't move through this society of people with emotions. We always, what Pac said, my every move is a calculated step.
Yeah, that's
it.
Don't play with words. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. I'm thinking. So if my moves are calculated, that's math, man. And in math, you got to make sure that your God mindset is about math, about adding, about multiplying. It's never about subtracting. That's a negative mindset, a poor person's mindset. Yeah, that's when you really in a society, you really have let society nurture you.
Yeah.
You know, and that's the problem. Go ahead.
Back in the ancient Greek time, they had a rap group called Naughty by Nature. And they just put it out just like that. They were naughty by nature. They didn't naughty by nurture.
Right. Right.
But I digress. Let's go.
So that nature is what you know. It's what you're accustomed to.
That's what you know, man.
Would you consider nature tradition, though? Like, is it traditional? Is it what you know? You said it's genetics, so it's coming from what you built like. What? Somebody help me out.
Genetics is what you're born with. That's that inborn characteristics. Has nothing to do with tradition, because tradition is based in environment. Because you're doing things just like Christmas. Everybody want to sit down and have Christmas dinner, give presents out and stuff, go to church on Christmas morning. That's environmental things. Those are things that you do. That's what tradition is.
And talk,
genetics, right? Okay. Genetics is just your biological makeup.
You heard, Mike? So you're saying that you can't change genetics?
No, you really can't change genetics.
Okay, so you have kids, right? Like, I'm quite sure you had them a natural way. So through artificial insemination, say for instance, your blue pills didn't come in and you and your girl was trying to get pregnant. Y'all go to the house, they put the baby inside of another host. You mean to tell me that the baby that has your seed, her egg, that's born, like going through somebody else's body, that baby's not going to have any type of emotion of the actual host?
Of course it will, but that's not changing genetics. But that's genetics taking its course.
My question was, can genetics change?
Yeah.
I don't believe genetics can change because it's born in you. And it can only be born in you when you're born. It's not going through the process. Once you come out of the womb and you're born, what is inside of you is inside of you.
But I'm talking
That's not going to change.
The fallopian tube when they insert the baby. Like when they insert that embryo.
Mm-hmm.
So that way genetics can change. Like the baby's gonna come out with some type of traits of its host.
But it can't
It can.
because it still got the seed of the father.
You're right.
Whoever the mother is, it's got the mother's seed, but it's not changing the genetics of the baby. The baby has the two. The egg is in the host, whether it's the wife of the guy who inseminates the woman or not. But the seed comes from the father. So you got the father's seed, and whoever the mother is, that host, that egg, you got those genetics or those genes as well.
Okay, so
you can't change the gene.
But what? Okay,
right?
What color are strawberries?
Red.
Have you ever seen
a
strawberry?
I have.
How? What color are strawberry seeds? Because all they did was change.
I've never really.
They took them and they pretty much put them in a dye.
But that's
and they plan
that's something.
Those different colors.
But that's something that's done in a lab for the most part. That's a mutation.
So
in our society, it's irregular. The makeup of the human body.
Yeah.
The only way you can have a mutation, that's when you have kids that come out with the
ball.
They call it mongoloid. You know how when they have their look, it's like autism.
Yeah.
But their whole facial structure and stuff. Yeah. That's a mutation of a gene. That's what causes that. That's not somebody that's changing your genes. That's just the way your genes develop as you grow.
We're not talking about being born albino, but I mean, I understand what you're saying.
Right, but that's also a mutation. That's a mutation of the gene, but you don't change that yourself. That comes through natural. That's a natural occurrence in your body's. I guess you said biological makeup.
That's your final statement.
If you can tell me another way that you can change it, that's going to be it.
I mean, I got proof, but I'm just saying. I mean, we good. Go ahead.
That boy out of control, man. Let me give y'all some of that God power within. This is the God's power within that's going to create that nature, that's automatic. That's nature within you. That's your willpower, your faith, knowledge, and the love. All four of those things right there, that creates your genetic makeup. That's your God in you. That's the God image that he speaks about in the book, that you are created in the image of me. So that right there is your willpower, your faith, the knowledge, and the love. It says nothing about toxic or hate or transmutations, but those are those are the things that get us.
I said those are things that you're born with.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's that God. That's your God. Right. Yeah. So that's your godliness right there. And then as
You born with knowledge?
It was willpower, faith, knowledge, and love.
You're born with the universal consciousness.
Yeah.
That's your born because that's your spirit or your soul. That soul that reaches out and touches everybody else.
Well, we really have to realize that you was already born. Your number was called before your mom and dad even had anything to do with anything.
That's right.
Before as soon as they met, the energy's already aligned, and that was your carriers. You know what I'm saying? Like your dad carried you in his seed, in his sack, and the mother, she produced you. She molded you. She let it transmute in your body, in her body, and came out. But the story was written before you got there. And a lot of times, that's why I said I wouldn't want to direct my son's future. I want him to create his own future and show his own lane, because that's what his natural born ability was, is to draw, storytelling, creating images or creating video games and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? That's his lane. And when you try to take somebody out of what they're naturally good at, that wasn't even nurtured. It was nurtured by the higher spirit. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't nurtured by us. But we're genetically, me and his mother are both authors. We're both storytellers. We're both write. You know what I'm saying? She has a book half written. I got a book half written. I used to write music all the time. I used to write songs all the time. But when he was a baby, you know what I'm saying? He was on a song. I had put him on a song one time, him and his little sister. And that's what I think, you know, but it was already in him before I even introduced him to the game, you know. So sometimes we nurtured like that. Yeah. But another thing what I was going to say is we must understand that our souls should be nurtured by nature and positive images and positive intellect or whatever. But that right there shows you that these two, just like you say, Coach, they are in the same, you know, proximity of nature and nurture. You know, your soul should be nurtured by nature. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Because that's where you came from. You came from the earth. You came from you were supposed to be eating plants. You're supposed to be eating the trees. I mean, the fruit from the trees. You're supposed to take the thyme and the plants and the weeds in the yard to heal you. So that's nature. You're supposed to be in the sun. You're supposed to be walking by water that's from the ocean or from something. You know what I'm saying? These are nature things. Just like they say, you take a nature walk. You know what I'm saying? You eating from your garden. You feel me? So that's like a lot of people don't understand when we say that you are a God. You are a God because you create a garden, you create kids, you create an environment. You see what I'm saying? So all of that right there is gonna make sure that you in alignment with what you need to be. Only if you stay in alignment with that type of lifestyle. Because a lot of us get nurtured by these songs on the radio. A lot of us get nurtured by the toxic behavior in the neighborhood or in the household, for that matter.
That's it.
In this day and age, you know. Yeah, but those were some good things, man. And I seen a lot of stuff that was speaking about God behavior and, you know, just getting back to that, not taking our kids to urgent care for everything, you know.
Yeah, and I'm glad that the whole God thing, because now it's so much to the point where, you know, humans try and play God. And have you guys heard of pre-implantation genetics?
No.
Well, yeah.
No.
So that's like what they're doing now. So you can actually go to a lab, so you can choose your gender. It costs around $4,000 or $5,000. That's why I was asking you about artificial insemination, Michael.
But that's not nature.
Wait a minute.
This is what you look at. That's not nature. That's a test tube.
The parents can choose the gender.
Yeah.
Of what they want. Wow.
Yeah, like
they can choose the color, eyes, the height, all that stuff. It's like you got a catalog now. You can go shopping for the baby you want, but that's not nature.
That's like when they was trying to make a super baby, like when they wanted LeBron James and Serena Williams to have a baby so they could have a super athlete. They was gonna pay that man a couple of $1 million to do.
But have you ever heard that saying that sometimes these genes they skip a generation?
Oh, absolutely.
So LeBron and Serena might have a baby that ain't got no kind of athleticism at all.
Right.
But the grandchildren might.
Yeah.
So you can't determine that stuff in advance. And anything that's done in the test tube, that's not nature. It's not natural. That's man trying to create something that ain't really supposed to be created. Because it's just like in the beginning when God created Adam and Eve. God created Adam. He formed him from the earth, right? And then he blew the breath of life into him. That was God's spirit going into Adam, making Adam a God. Because now Adam can't create. So how is it that now you can go and take a test tube and do the same thing? I mean, you can do it, but still, it's not nature.
I know that. See, that's where I go. Let me go back to that beginning now. I'm gonna tell you about what you just said. Adam and Eve was an experiment, man. They was already born. They wasn't. That's what we got to go back and see. That's what I'm saying. When you find out about from that revised, look up that word revised and look at version. Those stories are not the true stories. So I don't want to keep on repeating lies on this platform.
Got you. But these are the stories that most of our listeners know.
I'm talking more. Don't worry about me.
I see. Already, it boils down to that. Right, because if you think about it, if Adam and Eve were the first two, then who were the wives of Cain and Abel?
You hear me?
There weren't
you
any.
hear me, man? Yeah.
So I know the story, but the story of Adam and Eve and all these Christian fathers, most of our listeners, that's the first story. Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden.
Yeah. And not
I'm just trying to stick with something they understand instead of just trying to come up with something that's going to throw a monkey wrench into the game.
Yeah, I'm just joking. But I'm serious. Y'all go look at that story, man. And like I keep asking people, man, just it's like you got people out here that's really off into history. You know, you got people that's archaeologists, you got the neuroscientists, you got people who are off into things that the normal person ain't talking about. And those are the stories and those are the programs that I be involving myself in, because I really want to know, where did we really come from? How did this really start? You know what I'm saying? And not continue to listen to that story so I can give myself more power. It's like if you go into a classroom where you see all white presidents, you're nurtured to understand that the white person is superior. When the whole time, the black president was Abraham Lincoln. That was it was another man named Abraham Lincoln that was black, that was the president at the time. So when we keep on getting fed these stories and we keep on getting nurtured incorrectly, what naturally comes out of us would be something that's not supposed to be in us. It's like we were taught to eat meat, and we're not supposed to be meat eaters. So when we keep getting nurtured the wrong information, nurtured the wrong behaviors, and then when you tell somebody to, hey man, forget everything you learned and start over fresh on the way you want to be taught, on the way you want to learn. People don't feel like they should do that. Oh, that's too much work. Oh, I got it. And not even understanding, the more work you put into yourself, man, the better version. Like what it says right here. It says, I got a thing. It says, man. Hold on. Let me find it. It was a note. It was something I wrote down. It says, the more righteous we become, the more powerful we become. So I'm going to say righteous in the meaning of the word aware of who we are. Your righteousness, you know what I'm saying? Not your corrupt side, but your righteous side. The more righteous you become, that means you're going to be so in tune with who you are. Your mindset is going to be so in alignment with what the things that you should be doing. That way, as soon as you think it, you start putting actions to it. And that's the best part of life, to whereas we've been taught how to distract ourselves. We don't even need distractions anymore. Now we distract ourselves from the things that are naturally coming out of us, that was natured into us or nurtured into us in the early stages that we was before things even occurred in our life. But we get off track by the things, our own thoughts take us to another dimension when we're not even supposed to be over there.
Right. I mean, that's why like
natural. But yeah, that was something good. Go ahead, Mike. I mean, Rich Slade.
And that's why you're attracted to nice things. Like, you ever find yourself like, you know, you're looking at stuff, you're attracted to greatness. Like, this stuff draws you in because that's what's in you. You have to just eliminate all the distractions. I mean, the knowledge that everything you look at, listen to, like, these things are teaching you, but it's like almost like your body is craving it. Kind of like even when you first get in church, your body is craving it. Like, you know, yeah.
So you were saying something a minute ago about righteous. Let the viewers know what. So righteous is that without fault, or if righteous is that a perfect being, a perfect person? You know, when
I mean by, like I was saying, yeah, going off into your righteous state that is the best version. That's pretty much you creating the best version of you. That means you're aware of every pattern that you've had in the past. You're aware of everything because you was nurtured. When you was a baby, you was told, don't touch this hot. They was giving you all the right information. But when you became a teenager or a preteen, that's when you started hearing the lies, and that's when you started paying attention to the lies. Because my mom used to always come to me with, oh, that's just a little white lie, baby. No, a lie is a lie, Mom. I don't know. You said lie. You told me don't lie. So, but you just told me a lie. I don't care if it was white or black. It was a lie. And so we have to understand how we was nurtured to where we have to unlearn these type of things, man. Some things you really do have to put behind you. I don't care how comfortable it is or nothing like that. And I do understand that a lot of people don't feel like they should be responsible for somebody else's actions. You know, like, man, let me be me. I don't have to be worried about what they're doing, but you really do. That's the beauty of being righteous. That is the most righteous thing, is to make yourself a servant to somebody else. You're helping them by helping you. You see what I'm saying? So being in your righteous, that's how you're going to gain all the power. You don't find billionaires who was out here scamming dudes and corrupt. You know what I'm saying? They was telling the truth on a product that was really beneficial or showed value in somebody else's household or gave value to somebody else. So we have to look at how we're nurtured and how we want to continue to grow. Because you're going to keep on saying, oh, that's, you know, we've been so programmed to think that big things are really little things. It's like if you see red flags in the people you're dating, you got to pay attention if you're trying to be in alignment with the universe.
Right.
And just like we all know, every man should have a purpose before he even finds a woman anytime. You know, you got to know where you headed before you get yourself into a real relationship. Because if you don't, y'all going around in circles, and then that's when the arguments start. That's when the troubles start, because nobody knows where they're going. That's right. He don't know where he's leading you, and she don't know where you're trying to take her. Right.
You said something about being a servant. That servant part is big, because not many people want to serve. Not many people want to be of service in so many ways. And sometimes it's just communicating the fact that you could be better, or you should be better, or giving a suggestion of how to be better. We always focusing on self, in a selfish state. And I think that's what catapults you into being better, and that righteousness you talk about. Like when you said it, I was like, wow, I wish he could just break it down a little more for him. And you did that. That's what I appreciate, you know, because sometimes we learn these words and think of it of a different way, like righteousness meaning perfect. You ain't perfect, it's better, and you live by what is right, you know. And you know, just keep it to yourself, and that's big. Don't keep these things and this knowledge you get to yourself, because some people just don't know, or don't care to know, and not concerned about knowing. When all along, when they do know, it helps them be better, and that's your service part.
Right. And I believe it also, as far as righteousness, it's also a part when they say walk in your righteousness. That's you getting yourself, your body, mind, and spirit into alignment. So that means now you're starting to go back to eating the food from the earth. You're starting to exercise. You meditating. You're doing all those things to put yourself in a higher state of consciousness. And that's basically what I'm seeing as walking in your righteousness. You're doing everything and being better. You're not poisoning your body. You're bringing the food in that's making you healthy, and everything is now you're getting back to nature. That's the way I see it. And once you get back to nature, your spirit opens up, your mind opens up. So now you really are in contact with the subconscious as well as the universal consciousness. And that just opens up all kinds of possibilities.
Because success, when you're successful, and when you, like I say, you righteous and you become successful, it's a different type of responsibility, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like when you're a leader of an organization. You have to create more and more than the people under you. But then you should also find you a creative person that's in your circle as well. That's why they say hang around like-minded people, because even though you might have started the organization, doesn't mean that you want to be the only one who leads the organization. I want to be able to show somebody the plan to what this is where I want this organization to go, what direction I want to go, and then you should have a person to take the reins with you and say, hey, you know what? I'm riding. I see the vision. Let's go get it. And vision, let me give y'all my definition of vision. Vision is to go into your future self, take notes, bring it back to your present, and started implementing those notes that you took from your future, from your vision that you've seen in the future.
I love that. I love that, boy. That's good now.
You know, yeah, man. So we take a little bit of our future, like Joe Dispenza say, you have to start practicing your future, training yourself for your future. It's like basketball players; they shoot around all day in the spots that they want to hit at. Football players, they run drills. So you really have to be living in your future. It's
yeah.
Hey, Kiki, it's lonely. Hey, it's lonely when you don't move around from your environment. That's why we still cool on this internet. Because if I was in Baton Rouge or in Louisiana or New Orleans, wherever you stay, I say, and then we try to start an organization. You know how many people will fight us and go against us because we are right here trying to start an organization. But then you would still find more and more people that want to be like, that want to be in our organization as well too, though. So it's hard, but it is fair.
I've heard that a long time, but
it's my dog said it's lonely at the top.
I wanted to touch on that vision. I'm glad you gave that definition, man. That was real good. Hadn't heard it like that, but I don't want folk to be afraid to have the vision, because if you don't take initiative to see the future, or like you say, envision the future, or your future self or your future state, then it's like not having a goal to shoot for. It's like not seeing yourself down the road is so big, man. Like that was part of my personal development, taking initiative and seeing myself down the road. What is my better self? What is my my end goal? Right. And not end meaning complete. End not meaning complete, but a goal that would be not even the word sufficient, but the goal that would be attainable. So not until I was able to do that and envision myself, I fought harder for it. I did the work for it. I did the development for it. And it don't stop once you have grown accustomed to doing what it takes to reach that vision. So that's I interchange them together, the goal and the vision. Vision and how you said bring it back to your present stuff. That was big, boy. Nobody ever told it to me like that, man. That's why I was like, man, wow. That helped me see why continuously do it. You get what I'm saying? You don't just do it one time. You don't do it one time, because if you attain them and reaching your goals, you got to go do it again. You guys, okay, wow, now I see myself doing this. And you building, you're becoming better and better. So man, that is beautiful. I hope somebody got it like I got it just then.
But that's the way. Like that's why I say we always have to unlearn what we've learned, man. That's why I listen to people who are very smarter than me. It's like people always say, don't be in a room full of the people that you don't be the smartest person in the room. See, nowadays we can't go to these certain events and all this and that because this is invitation only. But the internet, you can be online, gaining knowledge, learning what you're trying to be the best version at, and then take the notes, write it down. You already see somebody in your vision, in your place and vision. I mean, that you've envisioned. You see them in your place. So go study them people. Write down all the things that they did to get to where they at. You have it right here in your palm of your hand. Every day we looking, but we'd rather get in the car and turn on the music. We'd rather get at the house and turn back on that favorite program. Oh, it's 2 o'clock. I gotta watch my stories. You know, so we got to get out of those comfortable positions, quit nurturing ourselves to be the best. I mean, quit nurturing ourselves to be average, quit nurturing ourselves to be like everybody else.
That's
but
right.
I got to understand that part too, because like Charleston White said, everybody back in the day wasn't kings and queens.
Right.
So you can't tell me everybody from Africa was a king or a queen, because you had to have peasants. You got to have, you know, you got to have somebody working for the king and the queen. You know what I'm saying?
That's it.
Yeah. So we gotta like meet people at where they at right there in life. You know what I'm saying? That's always going to be big. If you see them and you know that part of their life, or you see that part of familiarity and the things that they do on a daily basis, then that's when you know that's how they was nurtured at that point in their life. And you can either accept it, or you can say, you know what? Hey, I appreciate it, but that wasn't good for me. I'm gonna go ahead and, you know, meet, you know, let you be where you at, and, you know, get yourself together, whatever. But we cool. But I'm not gonna stay here for that. You know what I'm saying? Right. I can't be around that. You know.
That's it.
Because that'll take you backwards. That's why they say you can't be the smartest person in the room, because if you are, you might find yourself going right back down the road that you fought hard to get out of.
That's it. That's it. Kiki was asking me right there, Coach, what events made your vision into goals? You know, it's so many. I mean, I can name up 10 of them. It's so many, but one that comes to mind is I vision myself as being a teacher. For many years, I wanted to be a coach and a teacher, you know, and not until my daughter, and this was during my self-development, my daughter said, Coach, Dad, you might as well go on and volunteer somewhere. She had mentioned substitute teach, and she had mentioned volunteering coach. I didn't want to do either. I went to go substitute teaching, and I couldn't get in. So that kind of, when that door was closed, I was upset about it. But I started visioning myself, you know, okay, you can do this. You can taught your daughters math. You know, you can do this. And I visioned myself being in a classroom, even with the doors being closed. And then I said I was able to set a goal at practicing, servant, volunteering, being a servant, volunteering, coaching the Little League football for 2 years. Then all of a sudden had a chance to go coach at the middle school. I'm coaching at the middle school before I even got the job as a teacher. You get what I'm saying? That's what you call being a lining up with the universe, you know. So that's God, you know. That's, and I believe that He's in me. You get what I'm saying? I do believe that. So as I envisioned myself, the goal was set then. You know, and it's many more, like even being married. I never thought it could happen. You know, just many things. Talk about it. There ain't enough time on here for me to let you know all that. You know, but you know, even myself being in Mexico and Jamaica with no passport. Come on, man.
Yeah. Yeah, that's when you said, because you said, well, I'm ready to take some trips. Your wife made that happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
She said, "Oh yeah, you want to take some trips? I got you. We finna ride, baby. Let's go."
It came too fast. I was like, bam, 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 bam. I was like, oh Lord, baby, we got to slow down.
Yeah.
No,
That was a good. That's a good feeling.
Yeah, it's beautiful, man. And you know, this nature versus nurture topic, man, it hit home, bro. Like, cause I wanted to think, okay, man, I'm more of a nature man. And then I was like, you know what? Sometimes I learn from my environment, you know, like.
Right.
So for me, it was the both coming out the gate. When I came on the show tonight, I was like, man, it was both for me, you know, because it's different times that, like, even, you know, we the leader of our homes, but I even learn from my wife sometimes, man. Like, from
that's a great leader. Yeah, that's the best leader. You gotta remember. You gotta remember, most leaders, they lead from the back.
Wow. Yeah.
You don't see real leaders leading up at the front. They leading from the back.
Wow, that's big. She said you're nurturing a person just from your testimony. And I got many.
And that's what we need. Yeah, and that's the business that we striving to do on this program, on this platform, to where we can nurture people with different thought patterns or different ideologies about life, and we have a little impact. That's all we need, is a small impact to where we can make somebody think differently. You know what I'm saying? To where they want to go do that self-development. To where they want to go be a part of something greater than what they are. Because sometimes you get tired of your friends who ain't doing shit, who sitting around just talking shit, who ain't really trying to be productive. You get tired of them. If you don't get tired of them, that means y'all love smelling together. Y'all in that shithole together. Y'all love it. It stinks so good around now.
I went to the block about 4 days ago, man. And my nephew was down there with me, one of his friends, man. And one of the old school dudes was trying to talk about how I used to live, right? And my nephew and his friend, man, they was basically out speaking my brother, man. You know, I love my brother, but he ain't changed. And they seen it, and they called him out on it, man, right then and there. I'm like, bruh, I was like, nephew, I'm proud of you, man. You've been watching your uncle, man. Like, he was nurtured. You get what I'm saying? He came out the gate like the old me, though. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
He came out the gate like the old me, doing what he do. But I can see the transformation now by my personal development. He get to change earlier in life than me. That's beautiful.
That's what what was that? I was looking at one of Farrakhan's little clips, and he said that the best and only way to see some change in somebody is lead by example. If you want to change people, you have to lead by example. And when your nephew see you steady on that same path, steady on that growth path, and you steady changing the words, and you letting them know, man, these kids don't want to be out here killing and shooting each other, man. No. They just do it just because, hey, man, it's the cool thing to do right now. That's what we doing. But they not really trying to be on that, man. Especially when they know the outcome.
That's it.
Like the little rapper.
Yeah.
What's that, Rick?
Like the what?
The little 17-year-old. He was playing with a gun on TikTok, shooting a video, and he pulled the trigger, killed himself.
Wow.
Oh.
Wow.
Damn.
I think that happened here in South Carolina too one time. A football player. They got it on video. He was playing with the gun. He was on the video with his girlfriend or something. She was on the other end. Yeah. She witnessed it.
But he lined a beam up on his head and off himself on TikTok. And now they trying to fund me page for him. I'm like, bruh.
Wow.
Yeah, man.
All right, fellas. It's definitely been another great episode, man. And what y'all got to go out with, man? It's some good stuff tonight. I've learned a lot from the Greeks. all the way to the freaks.
That's work.
That was a good one, dude. But now I'm gonna go out with this, man. I'm gonna go out with your life won't change until you change your life, right? Because and that's always my biggest, man. And it go with everything we be talking about, taking initiative to do something different, man. Like, are you gonna stay stuck? Because stagnation stinks. What you gonna do different to be better? Better and not bitter. Mad at everybody.
Right.
You want to be mad at everybody.
No.
When it's
Yeah.
Go ahead, Mike.
Well, I think I've told you guys the story about the scorpion and the frog, but I'm not going to go through the whole story about it. But the whole point of it is the scorpion by nature, when it gets scared, it stings. The frog takes the scorpion across the river, but promises that he won't sting the frog. The water splashes on the scorpion stings the frog, and they both die. They drown.
Yeah.
So the nature, the moral is, the scorpion says, it's my nature. This is what I do.
Right.
But you don't have to be or live by your nature. Wow. You can take those things that are good, that comes natural to you, and turn it into something that's great. And that's in spite of your environment or using your environment to make it happen.
Wow.
Good. What you got, Rich, say?
I don't know if y'all heard the story about the tortoise and the hare. I'm not gonna tell the whole story. No, I want to go out. I want to say, let us nurture nature to have a nourishing future.
Wow.
Ah, okay. Little rhyme there, little rhyme. I'm gonna say this right here, man. You can't be all things to everyone if you're nothing to yourself.
Wow. Yeah.
True statement.
That's why you leave them Scorpios on the bank.
Not all of us. I'm a Scorpio, not all of us.
Yeah, man. It's been another good show, man. But you can't be all things to everyone, though, man. That's what we
true.
do know.
Yeah.
And y'all tune in next week. Come back, like and share this video. Y'all share this video, and then we can keep creating great content. Kiki, we needed you tonight on here. We probably had to call you next week. Try to get you on here to talk about some of that Scorpios on the bank stuff, you know.
That's what it do, man. Hey. That's what's up.
All right, y'all. Till next week. We out.